Thanks for joining us tonight. Two communities, St. Paul and Belle Plaine, shaken by gun violence that's left two people dead.
The violence started in Lowertown, St. Paul yesterday evening, not far from CHS Field. That's where a woman was shot and killed while working on an art project in broad daylight. And the St. Paul police chief says they believe the shooting was completely random. Over 12 hours later, the man police say is the gunman was shot by two St. Paul police officers in Belle Plaine. He later died at the hospital. We have team coverage tonight. Danny Spiewak is live in St. Paul.
But first we go to Gordon Severson in Belle Plaine to explain what happened there. Gordy?
Yeah, police were here in Belle Plaine all day collecting evidence, focusing a lot of attention on this area here just outside of St. John's Lutheran Church in Belle Plaine. Family members tell me that the suspect actually lived in one of the homes on the other side of the church here. St. Paul police say somewhere in this area officers shot and killed the suspect. The chief says this suspect is connected to the deadly shooting last night in St. Paul. Officers found evidence at the scene that helped them track down a vehicle and a suspect. That information led them here to Belle Plaine. Police say officers were preparing to make contact with the suspect when they say he came out of a home with a gun, and at some point police say their officers fired their weapons and killed him.
At approximately 6:30 this morning, prior to us even making any contact with the address, the person that we suspected of this crime exited that house and our officers approached them. That person was armed with a handgun, and this resulted in an officer-involved shooting with our police officers.
I also spoke with the family of the suspect. They say he was a father of 4 kids who lived here in Belle Plaine, and he was working as an electrician. They say they are still trying to make sense of what happened here. Back to you.
Yeah, wow. Thank you, Gordon. And the artist in St. Paul that was killed was a member of the Lowertown Lofts Cooperative. That community posting on Facebook saying they're in shock. Danny Spiewak keeps our team coverage going live in St. Paul tonight, where he spoke with neighbors of the victim. Danny?
Well, police have not released the identity of the woman, the artist who was shot and killed in Lowertown last night. But just based on everything we can gather from what we heard from neighbors in the area, what we heard from cooperative members, she was a beloved member of this community. The Lofts Cooperative, it was 28 artists who live and work nearby in the same space. Very tight-knit and very sad tonight.
Members of the Lowertown Lofts Artists Cooperative gathered behind their building on Thursday to comfort each other, just a day after police say one of their artists was shot and killed while working on this mural.
It rattled everybody.
Lynn Murphy lives a block away in Lowertown.
It's a great devastation tragedy for our area down here because it should have never happened.
In a statement, the Lowertown Lofts Artists Cooperative said they're in, quote, shock and grief as we grapple with the unimaginable. One member also posted that 4 neighbors witnessed the murder.
When you hear just an innocent person got shot, just doing her own passionate artwork, you can't even understand the feelings that go through, especially with the people that were sitting right here watching and all, seeing stuff that was happening.
It seems to be very much random.
St. Paul police say the murder was also caught on surveillance video.
One of the most cold-blooded things I've ever seen in my life.
Chief Axel Henry says video shows the artist on her knees when the shooter opened fire.
What appears to be right now a random act performed in a manner like that is something I've never seen anything like that, even in a movie. It is awful.
The random and brutal nature of the crime has been difficult for the neighborhood to process.
These guys are a close-knit community. Everybody is down here. And for something like this to happen, it's shocking. But we still show that neighborly love and making sure we're taking care of one another all the time.
And members of the Artists Cooperative told us today that they do want to tell this woman's story, their neighbor's story, that they say she was an incredible and wonderful person, very committed to her work and was a friend to all. But because the identity hasn't been released yet, police are still notifying some family members and relatives. They're not going to comment further at this time, but eventually they do want to share her story. Back to you.